I listen to a lot of Steve Bannon lately. He's got his War Room podcast, and Rickards goes on there sometimes. And I think people don't really understand Steve Bannon very well. But if you listen to him talk about China, it's fascinating the way that he characterizes it. Because he says there's not 1.3 billion communists in China. He said there's 1,000 gangsters in the CCP, and they don't even care about communism. You know, they're gangsters, and they're the same guys that took away your mind and that run that country into the ground. But the people of China are probably more capitalistic than any place. You know, again, hardworking people, but it's all run by the gangsters at the top. And I never heard anyone articulate that like Bannon has, and I think he's on to something there.
This is the book I read, Buckminster Fuller, called The Grunge of Giants. And that's what this guy is saying too. We have gangsters in our banking system.
Yeah. Same thing, right? Yeah. Different.
They don't care. People, they really don't care. They don't care. You know, just that they get rich.
You know, Robert, you mentioned that schools teach us to be poor. It's one of the your quotes that I quote all the time. Do you see us making any changes to that schooling institution right now? Obviously, Trump's going after Harvard. That's kind of high level. Do you think with the advent of AI or these personal tutors that maybe we can at some point start teaching our kids about money?
I think the social media is going to teach our kids. I mean, that's what I was saying. Many times I find the younger guys more savvy than the older guys in my generation.
Okay.
Because they're more tuned in to YouTube and things. Not that it's, but they get more up-to-date news. Not that all of it's good, but they're more tuned into social media than, you know, Channel 9 or 10, stuff like that, or CBS. So it's really changing. The world's changing very, very quickly, and so is the younger kids. But as you know, like Japan's going to be out of people pretty soon too.
Yeah, tell me about Japan, because as you said, they're almost religious about their saving. And in Japan, having an idea outside of the norm is discouraged. So everybody kind of goes along. And I would argue, from what I've seen, they're probably the worst of the G7 when it comes to this just constantly saving without ever asking themselves why. The government buys all of their really low coupon bonds, and they're always in this state, the same state they've been in for 10 years, right? Massive debt, economy at a standstill. What did you see when you went there?
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge, because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best, and hope you come join us.
Well, I think they entered a depression in 1990.
Wow.
And, well, you know, the carry trade, they were printing all this money, and people were borrowing in yen, buying dollars. And so the bond market is in serious. I was going to ask you about that, because I see the biggest problem in the world today is the bond market, not the stock market, because the stock market's big, but in my opinion, the bond market's 10 times bigger and deeper.
Yeah.
And when the Chinese and Japanese and people start dumping our bonds to buy gold, what is that? What's that going to the U.S. dollar? What do you know about the bond market and as far as them dumping our U.S. bonds?
Yeah, well, everybody's watching that 10-year note and that 30-year note kind of creep up. It was kind of going one way when the original tariff negotiations happened, and everyone thought, you know, they could refinance the 10-year note at 4%, but now it's going the other way, and people are very concerned about what's going on. So I think you're right, Robert. I think we really have to worry about what's going on with those bonds. Of course, everyone thinks that maybe the stable coins in crypto could be a new buyer of those treasury assets, but that's probably only a temporary fix to the structural problem.
But the problem, Brian, is what happens to the people. You and I are okay. And, you and I work for the people. It disturbs me. It really disturbs me. And then, it's the uninformed, or maybe they don't care. Or I got into it with this guy with 4 daughters, and he says, so what? I said, who's going to teach your daughters if you don't teach them? He says, school. I mean, I'm going, and he knows nothing. So if I had kids, I'd be terrified. What do I teach my kids today? But that's you and I have been on that one for a long time.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.